Hey everybody, this is Ben here at That Cologne Guy coming at you with another fragrance review. If you're watching this today, happy Friday. If you're watching this on another day, always remember, here at That Cologne Guy, it's always Friday. Without further ado, let's dive right in. In this episode, I'm taking a look at Kouros Body by Yves Saint Laurent, or YSL. And yes, I'm saying that correctly. I'm saying it Kouros Body and not Body Kouros. So let's take a look at the name first and foremost. And the bottle, and then we'll get into the notes. So if you notice here, you see a gray bottle, and there's nothing at the bottom that's transparent, and then you see Kouros Body. So that's how you know this is a reformulation, because the original was a black bottle that had was transparent here so you could see the juice, and the words here were switched. So it said Body Kouros. So because of that, you're going to hear people call this Body Kouros, and some will call it Kouros Body. Confusing, but that's how you know. So anytime you see Kouros Body, you know that this will be the reformulation. I think there were 2 reformulations after. The original was 2000 to 2008, and then since then there have been 2. In 2008, L'Oreal bought this out. It still says YSL though, but this is through L'Oreal, and no surprise there, but a lot of people have said the reformulation does not last as long. But I at least wanted to point that out so that you know that this is a reformulation. This is a gray bottle instead of black. There's nothing here where you can see the juice, and the words are switched. The bottom of the bottle also has the typical information that you would expect. And then with the rest of the bottle, actually, it's relatively standard here. No real surprises. It's actually easy to hold. And I really like the sprayer on this one. You get a lot. See if I can hear. Boom. Yes. Whew. Now the whole room smells like it. Kouros Body has a fantastic sprayer. Really like this. I also like the design. It's easy to spray. Minimalistic, shall we say. So that's the bottle and the sprayer. Okay, so let's dive right into the notes. This is a relatively linear fragrance. It's not going to develop on your skin over time and change drastically. You're really going to get 3 strong notes out of this, possibly a 4th. The big 3 for me are eucalyptus, incense, and cedar, followed by some benzoin that gives it kind of a balsamic resin quality to it, without a shadow of a doubt. That said, though, what really stands out is the eucalyptus. Now, this is not kind of the medicinal. If you've never had a eucalyptus-based fragrance, you're going to think, wow, that sounds kind of medicinal, cough drop smell to it. It does not have any of that. The eucalyptus mixes really, really well with the incense and the cedar. And so what happens is you end up getting a very, very sweet fragrance, but something that is quite masculine at the same time. So if you like things like Burberry Touch, if you like the sweet fragrances, but you want something that's also clearly masculine as well, then I would highly recommend this. Whatever happens though, don't be put off by the eucalyptus note, because it is not in any way medicinal, in my opinion. So this is done by Annick Menardo. So Annick Menardo is one of my top 3 Perfumiers. I have many of course, that I like, just like you guys, but my top 3 would be Natalie Lorson with the bronze medal, and the silver medal goes to Annick Menardo, and then the gold medal, of course, has to go to Alberto Morillas. I just wanted to. I wrote down all of these because I want you to know I have a cheat sheet here. But I wanted to read just some of the men's fragrances. Let's not even get into women's, because she has a lot of success there too. But the men's fragrances that Annick Menardo has put out. So just take a look at this list: Jaipur pour Homme by Boucheron, Cool Water Intense by Davidoff, Fuel for Life by Diesel, Armani Attitude, Giorgio Armani, Gérius Rouge, Givenchy, Boss Bottled by Hugo Boss, Cocorico by Jean-Paul Gaultier, Roma Uomo by Laura Biagiotti, I think is how to say it, Biagiotti, and Lolita Lempica, Al Masculin, and of course Body Kouros by YSL. So I mean, what an incredible list of men's fragrances. And I even before this episode checked out some of the women's fragrances. She is just a fantastic perfumier. I really like what she does. With what she has. Most of these are, of course, designer fragrances, but I really enjoy the fragrances that she puts out. As I said, this is a reformulation, so this review is strictly on that one. In terms of projection and longevity, I was a little surprised by the comments because a lot of people said that the reformulated version here lasts 3 to 4 hours. I'm going to beg to differ. Does it last as long as the original? No. The first one was clearly 12 hours, very heavy on the incense, and I think less sweet, we'll say, probably more focused on incense and cedar, but it lasted a full 12 hours. This is not going to do that, but I'm not going to also say that it's 3 to 4. So let's split the difference, and I think you're going to get a very healthy 6 to 8 hours out of this fragrance. If you do 4 to 5 sprays, so like 1 on each wrist, 1 on each side of the neck, and maybe either the chest or back of the neck, I think you could get 8 hours. I think you could get a work shift out of this, especially if you put it on top of body lotion or moisturizing cream. Okay, so 6 to 8, we'll say. I definitely don't agree with the 2 to 4 mark, but you won't get 12 either. All right, so longevity was average, we'll say, and projection is quite well. I like the projection because it is at an arm's length and it stays that way, and so you're not going to clear out a room, but you're also not going to, it's not going to dissipate so much from you that no one will be able to smell it. So for me personally, projection is just perfect. I really like that about this fragrance, and longevity could be better, but you know, could be a lot worse as well. As far as events, this is going to be more of a casual scent because it is on the sweet side. I do see this as more of an evening scent. I don't see this as a work scent, although you absolutely could. But I definitely see this as a romantic night out, an evening night out with friends, more of a casual setting. I don't know that I would call this a suit and tie fragrance. This is definitely more of a semi-casual fragrance. That said, so we'll go nighttime. Now, season, in terms of season, this could be practically anything. I think you're going to see more of a fall and spring on this kind of fragrance. I don't know that I'd see it fully as a winter, but I think the only thing would be in a super warm climate with the eucalyptus and the cedar. I don't know that it would be optimal for the summer. The other 3 seasons, though, would be perfect. Clearly for men, this could be worn by men and women, but this is marketed toward, and this is definitely more of a masculine scent. It's not as quote-unquote masculine as the original because because the other one had more cedar and incense, but the combination with the eucalyptus, cedar, and incense and benzoin clearly keep this in the masculine realm. Age group is going to be probably college and up. So this is basically 18 and up. There's nothing mature about this, but there's nothing either that's ultra sweet either, kind of like some of the like 1 million, Paco Rabanne's 1 million or something. So I don't know this is a full-on clubbing scent either. I really like that about this. This is can be worn practically anywhere and for any age. So we're going to go 18 and up on this. And I have to tell you that, you know, a friend of mine had this many years ago, and I asked him about it, and I said, which one is that? And I kept it on my radar. And then last year, I sampled the Lolita Lempica Au Masculin, which is actually by Annick Menardo as well. And I really like that one. In fact, I like that one slightly even more than this, although it's been discontinued. So Kouros Body, or Body Kouros, was one that really stayed on my radar because I liked it, and it was unique, and it was original, and I appreciated the fact that it was very sweet, yet clearly masculine. Didn't have a makeup note to it. I don't care for that type of sweet. It doesn't have like a chocolate or a coffee note as well. So I really like the originality factor about this one. And I finally got it. So I went to Kohl's last year, and they had it for, I think it was $20 or $30, and it was in a damaged box. So I bought, in fact, there were two of them, and now I regret it because I think I should have bought two. But at the time, I just bought this one. As you can see, there's nothing wrong with the bottle. It was just because the box itself was damaged. And you want to talk about one of the best 20 or 30 bucks I've ever spent. I have zero buyer's remorse on this, and in fact, I will definitely be keeping this in my collection. I just really appreciate the fact that it is sweet, unique, original. Not a lot of people around you are going to have it, and well done. Just another strong effort by Annick Menardo. Has she ever done anything that we don't like? I don't know. She really just keeps putting out great releases. This, in the last year alone, she put out Cool Water Intense for Davidoff, so she is on a roll. Okay, so that is Kouros Body by YSL, and as you know, if you follow my channel, you know that I give out of 5 sprays. I review the fragrance, and then whatever number I give, I actually spray it on me. So I am going to give, this is a clear 4. This is a 4 out of 5. You know, I could even, I think that at some point it could even maybe get a 5 out of 5 for me. I like it that much, but I do admit that the fact that the longevity is average keeps it at 4 for me. That's really it. If I got my hands on the original, I could even see a 5 out of 5 happening. I don't know that this will become a masterpiece. I don't know that I want to say that this is a classic or it will be considered a masterpiece. It's almost there, though. So we're going to say 4 out of 5. I will absolutely keep this in my collection. I'll be looking for more bottles at the right price, and I've been wearing this like crazy in the fall and the winter, and I will continue to do so. All right, so we're going to go 1 on each side of the neck and 1 on each wrist, and that's for 4. So here we go. 4 sprays, 4 out of 5 sprays for Body Kouros, a.k.a. Kouros Body. All right, there you have it, guys. Another episode by the boards. This one was Body Kouros. Really enjoyed this one, and it's slowly climbing up my list. In fact, I have to tell you now, it's actually kind of difficult for me to keep this out of my top 10 all time. No joke, I like it that much. I'll revisit this review in a year, and we'll see if it actually has crept up into my top 10. Don't be surprised if it does, because and also don't overlook this one and don't count it out just because of the eucalyptus note. All right, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell up on top so as soon as I upload an episode, you are notified. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for all of your comments. I really appreciate, and I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed making it. Always remember, guys, fragrance marks the celebration of today. Take care. Hey everybody, this is Ben here. You guys know that at the end of almost every episode, I have a segment that I like to call A Closer Look. And in A Closer Look, we take a look at something outside of the review in much more detail. So it could be a term, it could be a note, and in this episode, I'd like to look at the term flanker. So if you're just getting into fragrances, you'll hear this term bandied about, and what does it mean? So whenever a company puts out an original release, so in this case it was called Kouros, anything that comes out that has that a name attached to it is called a flanker. So, for example, if you have something called Kouros, I'm just going to make up some things. One thing they could do is they could do Kouros Sport. Then they would do Kouros Blue. And then they would do Kouros Extrême. And then they would do Kouros Extrême Sport. You see where I'm going with all of this? They just keep adding names to the original release of Kouros. Now, what's interesting to note, though, is oftentimes, right, usually a flanker will have the DNA of the original. So in this episode, it occurred to me as I was doing the review, I just wanted to be clear because I kept saying the original, but what I meant was, of course, is the original formulation of Kouros Body. The original release of Kouros, which is, of course, just called Kouros, is very different. In fact, one thing you might I consider as a critique against this Kouros Body is that it's not even a flanker at all of Kouros. Have you smelled? If you have smelled Kouros, let us know. But it is a very, very late 70s, early 80s smell of really what it is. I've said this before, but I'm not going to change my mind. In fact, I just over winter break, I smelled it again in a fragrance shop, and I'm not changing my mind at all. It really is cat pee in a 1970s carpet. It really is. Kouros is a very strong civet animalic scent. And it smells very dormant. I don't care for that, as you can tell. And Body Kouros has almost next to nothing to do with the original. So just to be clear in this episode, when I say it's the original, I'm talking about the original formulation of Kouros Body as opposed to the reformulation, which I have, and I'm not referring to the original release by YSL, which was just simply called Kouros. That one indeed is not one that I will be having in my collection, and as I said earlier, when I gave it 4 out of 5 sprays, I could probably even say that I would deduct a little bit as well from the fact that I just don't think that it's even a Kouros flanker. If you do not, to be clear, if you really do not like Kouros, don't throw this out as an option because it smells nothing like it. I don't like Kouros at all, and I positively love Kouros Body. The same thing applies though. If you love Kouros, then that you will not necessarily like this one. So I guess we would say be careful, because the flankers oftentimes will have the same or similar DNA. They'll pay kind of homage to the original release, and other times they do not at all. They should probably just call this one Body. Wouldn't it be cool? I think they should just call this Body at this point, so then we don't have to say Kouros Body or Body Kouros. So there you have it. I am declaring now to YSL that they indeed should change the name. That was a closer look. Take care, everybody.